There's actually 7 stages of financial independence, or you want to call it financial well-being. So we all actually start from, this is pre-stage, all right, which is stage 0, where we are actually dependent on, our parents. We actually spend quite a long time actually in this, for most people, 2 decades really. Financial solvency, which is stage 1, is basically having all your needs actually covered, and not worrying about that. Second is actually financial stability. So we define financial stability of when you have your backup funds or your emergency funds. So on average, that's 6 months for most people, but it depends as well. Typically this will be just really general guidelines. Debt freedom, stage 3, is when basically you've cleared off all bad debt. Yeah, financial security is where 100% of your needs actually can actually be covered by your investments and your passive income. Financial freedom is at a stage where you basically have all your needs actually met. For different people, it will mean different things as well, but basically giving you that freedom of choice, really, which is just so powerful to have. It's the second last stage, which is financial independence, where basically all your needs, all your wants, everything that you can ever imagine or want of, is covered by your investments and your passive income. You have more than you ever need. Which brings us to the last stage, financial abundance, where the greatest joy is really making a difference in giving and changing lives. So there's 2 rules or guides really. So the first is actually the rule of 25, basically states that your financial independence, your amount of funds, your retirement goal, in other words. So see, this goal should be equivalent of 25 times your annual expenses. But this is the rule that I actually prefer, which is financial independence. I actually define it as a 2-stage process. So the first is that you should aim for your passive income or your semi-passive income, like your rentals, to actually cover, firstly, 100% of your expenses. And the second stage for that is when your passive income actually generates twice that amount, or 200% of your expenses. Let's go into an overview of financial planning. So it's just knowing that, at different life stages, there are different things that happen to us. It's actually just these 4 simple things that we need to do. Simple, but not necessarily easy. It's basically, how much do you save? How do you actually invest that to increase your return? How do you avoid making major financial mistakes? And how do you manage all those fees and costs? So you can actually master all these 4 areas. So last thing here on a budget really is, a simplified one is really a 50, 30, 20. The most important thing is really to pay yourself first, that 20%. This is assuming if you're an employee. That means your employer through EPF is already contributing 20% to you. If government servant, maybe a pension, but you need to still be saving that 20%. So debt, earlier we talked about, getting rid of all your bad debt as one of the stages for financial independence as well. And last but not least is actually protection. And then last bit here will be on the investment planning strategy. So basically, investment goes through all different types of emotions. All right. Risk versus rewards. You need to know what your circle of competency is. Diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So different investments perform differently in different times as well. And asset allocation is so important because asset allocation actually reduces the risk or the volatility of your portfolio by 90% actually, and accounts for about 40% of your returns. So it made figuring all of this. So the whole idea of asset allocation is to minimize risk of volatility and maximize those returns as well.